guys. So, as I told you, being a leader, you will always have to strike the right balance and love yourself and spread that love. So, life will be hard in this tenure of you being the leader and becoming the leader. There will be turmoils, there will be trials, but that will only mold you and make you stronger. Never ever give up. The real happiness doesn't lie in money or success or fame. The real happiness lies in gratitude, guys. So be grateful and be alive and live every moment. So that is all what I had to say. That is all what I had learned throughout my career so far. And that is all what my mentors and my good friends always keep telling me during my tough times. I'm happy that, I have been given this opportunity. So thank you guys. I'm now open for questions to you.
Thank you so much, Arunji. That was very, really, very inspiring. Now we can understand how your journey would have started and how you have reached a very great, great heights. And thank you so much. And still, you're remembering your old mentors for their. Thank you so much. But here today, I'm not going to question you on any part. I'm not going to host any session in terms of question answer session. For a change, our HR club is going to host the question answer session, and definitely they are going to witness something new, I believe. And they told me they have some surprises for me and surprises for you as well. If you could turn on your camera, definitely. In the meantime, they'll also start because they want you to turn on your camera for the session, and I'd like to call upon the HR club to take over the session, question answer session. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes,
Yeah, very
Pratika,
well,
I'm able
very
to
well.
hear you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Yeah, this is Muthulakshmi from HR Club.
Yeah. Hi, Muthulakshmi. Hi.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Yeah.
Yes, Muthulakshmi,
Hi,
you
sir.
go. You can go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
my
yeah.
yes.
You'll be having three rounds, sir. So first round is of positive and negative round. So the things of this round is we'll be giving you some 2 minutes of time and we'll be giving you a topic. So you have to talk about the positive of the topic, and once I give you some clap sound, you should switch on to negative of the same topic. Can you understand, sir?
Wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Rahul, presentation. Can you see the presentation, sir?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. The first topic for you is work from home, and your time starts now, sir.
See, work from home actually has been very good with respect to spending time with your family, right? Time with your kids, because I rarely happen to spend time whenever I go to office and come back. I start at 9:30 and then come back at 9:30 night. Hence, like the complete 12 hours I get occupied with only the work. I get to only see them sleep, and I have been a weekend
The
husband,
negative
weekend.
point.
Sorry, I didn't hear the clap. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, yeah. So negative. I have got a lot of negatives as such. See, work from home has been pretty hectic because we never. I mean, they have the organization will actually give you a laptop, right? And then you will have to be always available anytime. When I was used to go into office, I mean, people used to call me and then they say, you can actually. I'm sorry for
The
calling at this
positive.
time. Sorry. Yeah, again positives. Okay. I mean, I don't hear the clap sound. That's the problem. I'm really
Sir,
sorry.
I'll tell you the positive and negative, sir. So you can
Yes, ma'am.
start with
Okay, go ahead.
positive.
Yes, yes, yes. Positive. Yes. So, I mean, I can sleep at whichever time I can actually want to, and I don't have to
Negative.
dress myself personally. Okay, negative. Okay. So, I mean, we will have to be on calls. We will have to be always on the screens. We will have to be always on the mobiles. It has been pretty hectic, right? You may never know when you will get a call, when this call is being scheduled early in the morning at 7:30. You will get a call.
Positive.
Yes. So this, yeah, has been a good amount of experience for all of us. I mean, I can eat my food at any time, and I can eat whatever I would like to and whatever I would want to. I can skip my breakfast or lunch. I don't have to actually prepare myself, to dress, to iron my clothes, or prepare.
Sir, yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, this topic is okay. Over, sir. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
The next one is next slide, Rahul. Yeah, HR role, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you just start with negative.
Okay.
Your time
So
starts
negative.
now, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So the
Yeah.
negative per se, I mean, I cannot say it is negative. I could say it is not positive factors as such, right? It is not that there are no negatives, but then the negatives. I should say that being it is pretty difficult being an intermediary between the management and the employees. It's always a trivial role, a typical role where you will have to don, and you cannot act. Some of us do act, some of us, and sometimes we cannot act, and sometimes we will have to be pretty straightforward. There have been instances wherein we don't like a policy that is being
Positive, sir.
implemented. Positives, yes. So I have always loved interacting with the people, and if you are passionate about interacting with the people, you will be the mentor, you will be the guide, not alone personally, sorry, professionally, but also personally. You will always
Positive,
have again positives.
not positive, which means
You
negative, sir.
you want negatives, okay. So you will be put at a trivial situation, when terminating an employee, though you would want to retain them because of some circumstance, because of the performance issues of an employee, you will have to terminate an employee. And as a human being, you'll always feel pretty trivial. uh,
Positive.
yeah, positive. Okay. So again, being an HR, you would always feel proud that employees do approach you to discuss about all their issues, and you will be at a stage where you can actually guide them. You can actually like tell them that this is what you have undergone, and you can actually like be more than being a HR professional. You can actually become a HR friend of them, a personal and professional friend of them. I had experiences of my own selves wherein a lot of people after being friend becoming their professional friends, they become personal
Yes, sir.
friends.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So last topic of this round. Next slide. Sir, your manager, your own
Yes.
manager. A positive,
I
sir. Your time starts now.
okay, positive. See, my own manager, like he actually, gives the time and space for us to, do things whatever it is, and he gives us the independence as to what it is. I mean, whatever I wanted to do, whatever intervention that I wanted to do, he, asked me to do a self introspection about this intervention. He gives me the independence. So that is what I would always love my manager to be, and that is what I wish for all of
Negative.
you as well. Negative.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, negative, yes. So he calls me anytime, whichever time he feels, and then he tells me that, I'm sorry for calling you at this juncture, but then we will have to get this done on a priority basis, on an immediate basis. There is an ask for a report that has to be published. There is an attrition analysis that has to be done. You will have to do the PPT well in the midnight, maybe at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, or in the early mornings, as I
Positive.
told you. Yeah, positives, yes. So though I work on this all the midnight, the midnight, burning my, eyes, but then, he always gives us that, as I told you, the space. Whenever I had to go for my personal work, even from the work from home scenario, he gives that space for me, and I do the same thing with my own subordinates. That I can run
Negative, sir.
behind. Negative, yes. So this has been, pretty trivial situations wherein, sometimes he will be forced by the management, and he will be forcing us. So without our likings, we will have to do whatever we are not, I mean, we don't intend to do. There has been a lot of, wastage of time, energy, and, our own pleasures as such, because this work from home situation has made us
Yeah.
to,
Finish it
go
with
to that mode.
positive, sir. Positive. Again.
Positives. Okay. So he has been a wonderful human being. He always respects the time, the personal space, the time that has been allocated to all of us in the family perspective, and he actually like gives this the room and time to ensure that we balance the work and life appropriately.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And I've called upon Lokeshwari for the next round.
So that is next round as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
sir. You have 3 rounds here.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. This is Lokeshwari Narayanan.
Hey, hi,
I'm a
Lokeshwari.
treasurer of IA system. I'm also a member of HR club, sir.
Okay. Hi,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
sir. Okay. We have a round called as a rapid fire round.
Okay.
In this round, we have 3 questions. We have to choose. We will give you 2 options. You have to choose any one only.
No, none
Okay.
of the above option here.
We have only 2 options.
Fine,
Definitely
ma'am.
not Arun, you have to answer this question.
Neither my manager nor my wife is here, so I can be bold enough to answer this question, Ranjit. Nothing to worry as such.
Okay, which is better, sir? Whether next to manager or next to wife, sir?
See, it is always better to be next to the manager during the times when I am at home, right? And it is always better to be next to my wife when it is actually the office work, right? because I can escape from each other's side as such.
No, no, Arun, this is a rapid fire round. You have to say either simple answer, one
Okay,
or two. You
I'm
will have
oh,
to choose one.
sorry, yeah. Okay, fine. So I would prefer next to my manager, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. So, okay, sir. Next question. What motivates you to work in this pandemic, sir? Loyalty or salary appraisal, sir?
Loyalty.
Okay. Any explanation, please?
Okay. So I
Why
would
you are
say, guys,
choosing
yes, I was wanting to tell that, but since it was a rapid fire round, I thought, okay, let me not do that as such. See, a lot of organizations, I was running through my topic, I mean, the session as well, right? They had actually like started checking off people, right? A lot of organizations have decided to move people, and a lot of people from the Middle East, they have been coming back to India, not alone from Middle East, most of the other, through the Vande Bharat mission, they have been, the Prime Minister has been bringing a lot of people back to our nation as such. So at this kind of a trivial and critical juncture, HCL has not actually, chucked off anyone, right? While a lot of organization has removed people, they stopped the hiring. We went ahead with the hiring, and in fact, for working for this, I mean, during this COVID time, I mean, though the appraisals are not there for us this year, there is no salary increase. Most of us who have actually been working very hard through this tough time, the COVID time, we have got a bonus as such. So that is only because of the loyalty that we had in the faith and loyalty that we had in the organization. So though the salary hike or appraisal didn't happen for all of us, so for the people who actually deserve doing that, they had actually got the jobs retained for them, and that is only because of the loyalty that the organization, I mean, we had on the organization. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Next question is, when does personal leadership work better according to you, uh, as an employee or as a manager?
I have a question here, ma'am. I mean, personal leadership per se, you mean to ask from my perspective, my leadership skill work better?
Yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So, as a manager only, yes.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Next round is inspirational round, sir. Will be continued by Muthulakshmi, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. So the next round is inspirational round. So the first question is, tell us about your first boss, your best boss, and your worst boss.
Okay. My first boss, is it that, I can say only two sentences about that, and then I can move on? How is it, yeah?
Okay.
Your wish, you can do it. Either way.
Okay, fine. Okay. So I was actually like best with, the first and the best boss, I would always say. Though now he's no more part of the organization, and I have gone through some 6 7 managers right now. So he has been the best boss. I mean, he understood me. I was typically from Coimbatore. That's the reason, like, me and Bhargavi ma'am got along well together during our college days as such. So typically from a Coimbatore, an unknown person, just, passed out of the college. He was advising me, he was molding me, he was mentoring me and coaching me whenever it was appropriate. So I would always call him, I don't call him as boss, I call him as bossy. So with love, that's what I could say. So I still remember him, I still send him a greeting. I still send him some kind of a memento during all his birthdays. So he is an ardent Christian. He always believes in himself, and he always taught me to be, following the ethical ways. So he is my first and the best boss. The worst boss, I have not had any worst bosses, but then there has been a boss who has not been that good as such in my career. She was pretty feministic. I mean, I was one amongst the, I mean, there were 7 of us were reporting to her, and, there were 5 girls, and 2 of us were guys, and she was always pretty partial with granting leaves to us or anything for that matter. The partiality factor led to, me thinking to actually quit the organization in one point in time, and that's when I had approached Bhargavi ma'am also at that point in time. So she guided me as such. But then that has not been worst. But then there have been such negative incidences that happened, and that was not making me happy as such. So I don't call her. I mean, I did learn a lot of things from her, but then I don't call her as a first boss. But it has not been pretty decent boss as such.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. The next question is, as a HR, what was your instinct towards hiring a not qualified employee, but still you felt he or she could achieve? Have you hired someone like this? Have you ever witnessed the results?
Yes, yeah.
Sir,
So the
yeah.
first question, the answer to my first question is that I mean, I did it is not that not qualified employee. For example, during we have to do the road shows to hire employees at our Coimbatore office. So there have been a lot of people who are come with good background per se, good educational, academic qualification credentials, but then they were not able to articulate the question that we asked in English. They were actually able to articulate the same in Tamil. So we just look forward for people who have the, will. I mean, though we look forward for people who have the skills, we prefer not always. As you have questioned here, do you prefer kind of? So I would say I would definitely prefer hiring people with the right attitude and right willingness to learn, not the persons who have got good skills and with the wrong attitude. So I had actually witnessed the results. One of the employees whom I have hired like this, she has been an outstanding performer for the past 6 years. Though she is still stammering in her English, she was a daughter of an auto rickshaw driver from Tirupur actually. She is still with HCL. She has now grown to a level of a team leader, and she has been 6 years, consecutive, the outstanding performer. Only her English is still stammering, but then she is able to like make it up right now. I did see results, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, give us some of the what you said. No, sir. Right attitude.
Yes.
What other things comes under right attitude, sir?
So as I told you in the beginning of my slides, right? You don't have to be hesitant with whatever the job. Whatever role that you have been given. So you will have to take it one by one in the matter of time, as per the time as such. So as I told you earlier, I never. My boss did teach. The first boss did teach me that, and he told. I was pretty hesitant, to take a photocopy when he told me, "Yeah, Arun, go take get the printout for me." I was not actually liking that actually, because I being a management graduate, why the hell should I go and take the photocopy or print out for this person, or take the prints for someone who is getting recruited. I had people who are junior levels, they should do that. But then I learned that dirtying your hands in such instances, not alone, I'm just quoting one instance, but not alone that instance, but then wherever you are put across, everything was a lesson. So during the recruitment drive, since I was handling the recruitment also along with my manager, and during one of the absence of my instance where my manager was not there, I had to actually handle this recruitment where there was some goof up. So that goof up I was able to manage all alone, only because I was part and parcel of the complete recruitment drives that I was along with the manager. So that was another learning. So take everything as a lesson and learning. Do not hesitate or do not demarcate that this is right or this is wrong. Take it as it is, and you will have your lessons, and you will have both successes and weaknesses through that. But then take it up in the right attitude, in the appropriate way as it is at that juncture. So that is what matters the most, guys.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Lokeshwari.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. The third question is here, sir. How do you judge a candidate apart from regular parameters and with your own or a specific parameters, sir?
Fine. So the judgmental factor will actually differ from a person to person. I mean, I might have another HR who might say, who will be interviewing, assume who is interviewing you, right? That HR, we will have our own questions to be posted across to the candidate as such. But then not necessarily the candidate will be chosen by both of us. A lot of times we do have our own difference of opinion. But then it is all, as I told you, we will have to strike the right balance as such with any candidate. So a lot of HRs or a lot of the candidates also just come prepared with what is in the resume, right? If I ask you to tell about your own selves, most of them what they tell is, sir, I did my graduation here, post graduation here. I have two brothers, sisters, and this is my interest and such stuff. So this will all be written in the resume. I don't have to actually necessarily, learn from you as to what is there in the resume, which I can myself go through and read in your resume. What I as an HR will be looking forward from a candidate is that, what is that, that is, unique in you, or what is it that you are something different from what is there in the resume. For example, if I say I am interested to watch tennis, I should know what is tennis all about. I will actually question the people on those parameters. You got it right. So assume you mentioned tennis as your interest. So I will not question as to tell me something about the organizational behavior, or tell me something about the best of the marketing concept, because it is already there in your profile. You would have already mugged up and prepared to coming appearing for the interview as such. I do not want to know about all those things, because I'm very much sure you would have come prepared. But then about your interests, I mean, apart from whatever has been mentioned in the resume, what is it that actually is that person, the candidate, is she or he lying to us just by putting an interest, or is it that she or he is actually interested to? So when I actually put up that question in two or three questions, I mean over and above the same question. For example, as I quoted tennis. So what are the four Grand Slams? Who is the world number one? So what is the association that is named for the men tennis players? What is the association for the women tennis? So if I put across such questions, some two to three questions, I will be able to gauge and understand as to whether the candidate has actually given her interest or his interest or not. So I actually, this is my own specific parameter wherein I test a candidate about the reality, about how a candidate has presented himself in the resume and over to us. Because everything else, I mean, a candidate will have actually prepared, mugged up, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay, sir. Next question is, next slide, please.
Okay. So what is the one innovation or
What is
idea
the one
contribution?
innovation or idea contribution which you have contributed in 11 years of? Yes, sir.
Okay. So it is one of the best example that I would say is about the train and hire concept. So when we started started our branch in Coimbatore, State Residential Services in Coimbatore, the operating model was that we have to hire graduates only, right? And when I had gone to different colleges to just to interact with the students, I understood that they were actually good in the concepts, but then they were not able to articulate and then tell us. So we had a timeline, a deadline of hiring around 120, if I'm not wrong, within a week's time. So 120 within a week's time might look pretty simple at this juncture in 2020, but it was not the same in 2009. I'm sorry, 2012 as such. So what I did was I had organized, the placement offices of few colleges. We had organized a road show. We told them that we will give you training for a week's time. Week's time per se, 5 days of intense training about the investment banking domain. And after these 5 days, you will be put across for the interview, right? Because we already interviewed the people from these colleges, but then the strike rate was not that great. So we had to somehow fulfill that, because we were not already in the market in Coimbatore. We never knew what is Coimbatore, what the background of Coimbatore as such. So we didn't want to take a risk. We already committed to the client that 120 people will be onboarded within a week's time. So we had to do something innovative. So so this innovation was that we had to train these people in 5 days. And on the sixth and seventh day we did interview the same candidates again, and they were able to crack and articulate themselves well and crack the interviews. We did achieve the target. We achieved more than what we were. So 120 in 5 days was achievable. And that was our first, we call it as KT, knowledge transition. And these people were the first batch of people who were hired in Coimbatore. And as I told you, one of the students I was mentioning, right, one of the employee, I mean, she was a daughter of an auto rickshaw driver. So she was also one among that, such 120 candidates as such. So I should say that is, one of the innovation or the idea contribution as per your question. I mean, I would always remember that, because these were the pillars, the building pillars of this organization. Currently, we are 2,300 right now. Most of these people, whomsoever is here, around 85 or something of them are here still, and they have all become, TLs and assistant managers to the level of TLs and AMs as such in our organization.
Yeah, thank you, sir. That was very awesome, sir. I now call upon Ranjit, sir.
Yes, Lokeshwari. So you're done with your session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, finish the
Yeah,
session.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Any questions from the juniors and from the crowd? Any questions to be asked specifically to Mr. Arun? Any doubts? Guys, you can post your questions in the chat box. Any questions to be asked right away? So before they post the questions, and how was this work from home sessions, Arun?
See, I'm actually like going through the messages that has been posted in your chat box, in the chat box right now.
Okay.
I mean, with the kind of the question that has been asked, and these people, some of them are feeling, pity for me, and they are empathetic. That அவங்க பேச விடுங்க சார், let பேச விடுங்க அக்கா, let him speak out. பாவம் அவரே வருத்தெடுக்கிறீங்க அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் they have actually put across. Thank you so much, guys. And I would want to say this is how a life of a HR will always be, guys. This is how it is. So in one side, as a human being, you will always not like to implement something which your organization is asking you to implement or deeming you to do. You will not be liking in one side, but on the other side, the role that you don deems you to do that, do those things. So you will have to prepare yourself. You will have to ensure you walk the talk. You go back one step, and then you unfreeze yourself, and you become someone who is pretty artificial, and then you come back and execute whatever is being demanded out of your role from the organization. It's been pretty difficult times for any HR as such. And then, for some of, as Ranjit was asking about the work from home situation, it was, a happy situation in the beginning, because all of us, not everyone, not the complete organization has not gone into the work from home situation so far in our complete 7 or 8 years. Not very often, but then handful of times we do get into the work from home situation. However, what happens apparently is it has become pretty tough nowadays, guys. See, what we go through right now is that there are pretty decent amount of people who are ethical and who actually work. They deliver whatever they're supposed to. But then there are few people who take advantage of the situation. Advantage per se, they actually tell that my network is not working properly, or there is no connectivity, or I don't have. I mean, there is a power shutdown, and they take advantage of the situation. And what happens apparently is that the complete workload of these such 2 to 3 notorious people will be shared with the good working and hard working people, and they have to take the brunt and the crunch of the situation. And we don't have a choice at this time, because we cannot warn them, we cannot give any kind of a warning letter or take any disciplinary action against such individuals, because we don't have any proofs whether their actual network is not working, or they're not connected, the connectivity is improper, or their the electricity is working. All these things will come into the picture because of this.
Okay, thank you, Arun. And Abinya has asked a question. Hi, sir, this is Abinya. Thank you so much for your thought-provoking session. I have a question for you, sir. What sort of role transformation does a HR undergo after this COVID-19? Yes, already there is a role called business HR, and HR business partner, and all those roles are evolving. So, how do you see this, Arun?
See, even in HCL, we did have the categorization of the roles as such. We call ourselves as business partner and the employee partners. So employee partners precisely, don the role of connecting with the employees. They will have the direct face-to-face interaction with the employees. They will conduct the skip meetings, as I told you. They will conduct the town hall leadership sessions likewise. Whereas a business partner will always sit with it's like a corporate working. They will just sit with the laptop, and they will work with the numbers, attrition analysis, and such steps. While the inputs will always be from the employee partner, the business partner will kind of make decisioning with respect to the budget allocation for any appraisals or any kind of incentives that they will have to give. So this has been the categorization so far, but now it is all merged again. There is nothing called an employee partner or a business partner. I mean, at least in HCL, we have demarcated, we have closed the demarcation as such, because all of us get into the nitty-gritties of both the employee partnering role and also the business partnering role as of now. And how will be the shift? That question after COVID-19 from Abhinaya is that the shift will be like we will have to become more virtual right now, and there will have to be a lot of employee interventions with respect to the safety measures. As I told you, we will have to frame disciplinary policies across for all such people who actually like come up with different reasons which we cannot validate. So we will have to get into that kind of a mode, being more virtual. Even our induction right now happens virtually. I mean, my team used to do that in person. It has happened virtually. So the feedbacks have not been that great because nothing is as good as being in person, right? So we will have to, the transformation is slowly started happening. And with the feedbacks, we keep taking the feedbacks, we make it more online. And post that online session, we call the employees and then talk to them to understand how was it, and how is it, how can we make it better. The feedbacks are always going on. So that will be the kind of a transformation that will happen post COVID-19, and it has already started happening as such. So I could
Okay.
see that HR should think about future of company and employee. From Ramya, my question is how you are seeing this pandemic time and your future predictions for both company and the employees. Yes. So we do have projects. See, the thing is, we none of us were aware that pandemic is going to happen as such. We did actually lose some of the projects which were in the pipeline that are supposed to come here. So we are State Street HL Services as a joint venture. We are around 6,000 right now, and we are poised to grow. We were poised to grow to 10,000 by 2020, and we are still sitting at 6,000. So what we have done is, whomsoever has been offered, whomsoever has been interviewed so far, we are deferring their offers right now, so that there are no more new joiners. And whomsoever is attriting, who already started to put down the papers and then leave the organization, we are letting them go. So we don't eventually end up, hiring new people, and whomsoever were supposed to go back, we are just trying to stop them, and then, as a backfill, we fulfill the vacancies which are existing as of now. So that was one strategy from the HR perspective that we have done as of now.
Okay. So Arun, I should
Okay.
also ask you about this question. What happened to the old people which you have hired for this year? When are they going to get onboarded? Is there any delay for the people who got onboarded?
Yeah, as I told you, we have deferred their offers. See, I mean, most of them, I would say that they have actually quit the organization as such. See, only a handful of people would have quit,
No,
and then
no.
they.
You would have hired some people and rolled out some offer letters for the people who would have passed out 2020, and
You mean as for the freshers, right?
yes.
Yeah, for the freshers, we as an organization, we usually offer them only in the month of July. That is our cycle as such, right? For the people for whom we have already offered, as I told you, we have deferred the offers as such. So the projects are now in the pipeline, which will be coming. See, there has been a delay in the projects that are supposed to come in the early January, February months, right? So there has been a delay, intermittent delay of 7 to 8 months. So we have just told them that the offers have been deferred, and we have delayed the date of joining for all these folks.
Okay, okay. So same way, you have a very strong plan for 2021 hiring as well.
We do have, yes. I mean, we are actually, as I told you, like, we were poised to be at 10,000 by 2020 year end. However, we have not achieved the target because of these delays. So it is only a delay. It is not a complete, deferment. So it is only a delay for the time being. So we will have the project. We are having the projects in pipeline, and we will be having that organic growth that we call throughout this year as such. So some of the people have started joining us as well since now this August month as such.
Okay. And one golden question I would like to ask. We've got many questions. I'd like to ask only one question. Uh, Keithana has asked a question, sir. How would you go about implementing an equal opportunity policy in the office when COVID is being concerned?
So in what perspective does she see? Any organization for that matter will have an equal opportunity employment, right? So we don't have any disregards with respect to the sex, the gender, creed, or the origin or the nature from where an employee is joining. So I would want to understand from what is it that he is intending to ask by equal opportunity here.
Keithana, can you be very clear in what you're asking? Can you speak up, Keithana?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, please ask the question.
Sir, actually, in a company, many employees will be there, no, sir. A senior employee and experienced and fresher. Every employees will be there. Different kind of employees, right? So, how the company will give the employment, equal opportunity policy to all over the employees, sir? That's my question.
Okay. See, the equal opportunity, the meaning in itself is that, we don't have any disregard to any of the employees as such. I mean, all the organizations will definitely will have this policy from their framework, right? So if you're comparing yourself with a fresher and an experienced folk, see, freshers will have their own opportunities, and experienced folks will have their own opportunities. So, for example, I would just quote an instance wherein during our performance cycle, we will have demarcated bell curve for all the freshers and for all the people who already undergone an appraisal. You got it right. So
Yes.
that is where we actually give that equal opportunity to the employees with respect to the question that you had actually intended to ask. So the bell curve, you will not be compared with an associate manager who has been here in the organization for the past 7 years, right? So you will be compared, it will be an apple to apple comparison. That's what I would want to say.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Arun, for all the questions and the leadership session, whichever you had taken today. Will definitely inspire our students, and thank you so much for all the session. And now I'd like to call upon Durga for the vote of thanks. Before that, I'd like to ask you only one question. How was this session? How was our students? How was leadership lab?
So it's a very good initiative. I should say it's from the HR terms, it's a very good intervention, and I'm sure. I mean, Dr. Bhargavi ma'am, and also you people like you, you would have definitely given a thought through before even implementing or kind of introducing such an intervention as such. And I'm just reading through the chat box as such. A lot of people have said that they have been happy about this leadership session, and I do not know whether it happens on every Sunday. Guys, like this Sunday will definitely be worth it. So whatever you read in the books, right? So that is only bookish, and you are not going to read the books anymore. It is all practically implemented. So I actually and cautiously took the PPT to prepare in such a way that I'm not going to talk anything bookish here. I wanted to quote in every slide of mine some kind of a practical example that either I have undergone or I had actually learned. So that was my intent, and only with that intention I had prepared the slide in itself. So when all of us, when most of, when I should say that during my student days, college days, I mean, people used to come like this. They just come with a presentation and they just read through the presentation. They just go off. They were reluctant to share their experiences. So you will become a completely molded individual only when you go through such tough times. When you go through and learn through the experiences from people like me. See, as I told you, I have been humble. I will still be humble to say that I am not a great leader so far. I am just leading the HR functions for the Coimbatore location. I have got way to go as such. But then, whatever I could learn from this opportunity that I have had so far has been the crux of my own self that speaks a lot about me. That is what I would always boast of myself. So please be conscious and cautious to ensure you guys learn through this such sessions from the leaders. So as I told you, every idea, I mean, no idea is a bad idea. So no thought or no experience will be a bad experience. Everything will have its own impact, and it will help you at some point in time. They call it as Yellam Nanmeke Abrinda, they tell in Tamil, right? You would have all known about that. So everything happens for good. So don't kind of correlate between whether this is good or whether this person has given a good lecture. So I have told about my own experiences, which may be immature at some times, but then you will go when you go through such lessons, you will completely understand as to what I meant actually through these sessions, and what you will actually be going through such sessions from few of the other leaders as well. So take it as a lesson learning for all of you guys, and it's a very good intervention. And I know, so coming, I mean, making you people to sit on a Sunday is pretty hectic. I know the life of a student, we would always like to have long Saturday nights and a very late Sunday morning waking up. But then this will be worth it, guys. I should say that this will actually be
Yes.
worth it.
So every week, Sunday, we have this session for almost like 3, 4 months. We have been conducting this session, Leadership Lab. And every week, we've got a very good speaker like you. We have got a very good industry leader coming here and sharing their experience. That's what making us very learn. And as you said, Sunday is for rest, but we are also making Sunday as far as knowledge is concerned. ISSM created this leadership lab and enhances all the leaders to talk very casually among our students, and that will create a huge impact among our students. That's what our idea is about, and I guess that is working well among our students as well. And so we have got like every time we have got some 90 plus attendance record, 90 percentage plus of attendance here with the students. So 120 plus we'll get every time. So thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much for participating. Now I'd like to call upon uh, Durga for the vote of thanks, and I would like to personally thank our director, ma'am, and the founder and the managing director, ma'am Parkavi, ma'am, for arranging this session, and our college chairman, sir, and our Hyderabad director, Rahul, sir, for this beautiful session being arranged. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Arun. Yes, Durga.
Sir, is I'm audible, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our beloved students, respected sir, and our honorable chief guest, it is an honor and privilege to have been asked to propose the Oath of Thanks. I, on behalf of ISSM B School and the entire supporting crew, would like to thank everyone for joining us today and making the start a great beginning. I thank our chief guest, Mr. Arun Kumar Rayapan, the HR lead for State Street for HCL Services Coimbatore, to share his valuable time, knowledge, and experience with our students. Thank you for motivating and guiding us in this leadership lab, sir. It's a honor and a great privilege to have you in this leadership lab. I would like to thank our chairman, sir, Mr. Kadir Ganapati Appan, founder and managing director, Dr. Parkavi ma'am, and director, sir, Mr. Ragul Ramachandran, to encourage and support students by offering enormous opportunity to develop our skills. Last but not the least, I thank the students of ISSM family for making this leadership lab a great success. Thank you all, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you.